Hey folks, it is Friday, December 24th. The time right now is 2:30 p.m. and the temperature is around 3 degrees Celsius. And I am here just west of the city of Toronto, in the city where I grew up. This is Mississauga. And this is a rooftop parking lot here at Square One Shopping Mall, which is located at the heart of the Mississauga City Centre. And I just parked over there. And for this one, I'll be heading into the mall and taking a walk around. Probably for 30 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna come back here, hop in the car, and drive over to Niagara Falls to see my family for Christmas. And way back when, in the 90s, there used to be bus bays right here. But on the north side of the mall, they opened up a bus terminal, which I think they've recently expanded. And those are the famous Marilyn Monroe Towers. That's part of a project called Absolute. And back when I was in high school, I actually used to work at this mall. I worked in the food court at a place called New York Fries. And that was their second busiest location in the entire chain. And this is the largest shopping mall in Ontario, and the second largest in Canada. And Mississauga as a city is the sixth largest in Canada. And I remember in that Walmart, it used to be a Woolco. There's certainly been a lot of changes at this mall over the years. So it's Square One on Christmas Eve, or I guess Christmas afternoon Eve. There's a Zara, there's the entrance to Walmart. And this mall is operated by the same folks who operate Yorkdale Mall. I recently did a walk through there, and that would be Oxford Properties. And it has really gone upscale over the years. Remember, there used to be a Transit Shoes located just over there. That was one of the sub-Aldo brands. There's the Bay, one of the anchor stores, and a Forever 21. Maybe I can get a look at a directory here. Nope. So this is one of the newer wings in the mall. That's kind of neat, an IKEA design studio. There used to be a movie theater out this way. That was the second movie theater in the mall. I remember coming here in the 80s and 90s and seeing movies. The last movie I saw in Square One was, or in the original movie theater, was Kids in the Hall Brain Candy. And then that theater closed down and a new one opened up, I think in this section. That was a Cineplex theater, but Cineplex then bought out Famous Players, which have a location right across the street from here. So what happened there was they ended up closing the newer theater they built in the mall. They kind of consolidated into just that location across the street. There's Club Monaco. So this section here just opened up in recent years. Holt Renfrew used to be located over at Sherway Mall. But a Nordstrom moved into that mall and Holt Renfrew moved over to Square One. This is kind of funky. Some very expensive real estate this art is occupying. There's a Tiffany. I never thought I'd see the day where those high-end stores were in Square One. And typically the 24th isn't that busy of a day. It's usually busy early on in the day. And then later in the afternoon it would kind of empty out. And it would just be full of last minute shoppers and that sort of thing. There's a Rolex store. There's the Apple store. Lined up as always. For such a prominent mall, this is a rather small store for Apple. There's an Aritzia and a Lululemon and a Victoria's Secret. Maybe we'll just go this way. I'm probably not going to be able to cover the entire footprint of the mall. And this mall has changed so much, it's hard for me to really make sense of what used to be here. So this hall would lead us back to Hudson's Bay. So I walked by here earlier. I just didn't come down this particular way, but there's an Aritzia and a Roots. And they have a Muji store and a Lush. We have a Drake store here. I might go as far as saying this is actually nicer than Yorkdale. And there's a Simon straight ahead. So I can probably loop my way back around to where I just was. Really didn't do any research or homework before this one, or even look at the map. Sometimes I'll premeditate that. I'll try to think of a route that will cover most of the floor plan without any backtracking. And this is probably the worst mall to come without a plan, just because it's so big and sprawling. Okay, so I kind of thought this would have looped me back around, but it's not. There's an Old Navy. Moxie's. I remember going to the Moxie's here a long time ago. There is a Jollibee. And a huge urban behavior store.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, guys.
Thank you. And we've emerged on the north side of the mall. This is Rathburn, is the street just north of here. And I mentioned earlier that there was a bus terminal put in on the north side, and there it is. And that new movie theater I was talking about, well, new is relative. The Coliseum is across the street. There's a Palladium arcade straight across as well. That's kind of a Dave & Buster's style place. It opened up as Sega Palladium. And just over there is a location for Sheridan College. Oh, and they have a rec room here. I was not aware of that, but we have a large rec room downtown in the Roundhouse, right across from the Rogers Center. There's an Indigo. There's Simon's. It's a large department store. And that place originates in Quebec. I think their flagship location is in Montreal on St. Catherine Street. I think there's another entrance to the mall just over here. That used to be a Chapters bookstore across the street. All right. Let's just see if there's an entrance around the corner here. You came for a mall video and you got a guy walking around the outside of a mall. Entrance number 8. At least we get a nice look at the Marilyn Monroe Towers. I think they were designed by a gentleman named Andrew Ma. And just over there is Her Ontario, which will soon be featuring its own LRT line. All right, let's pop back into the mall. This door's propped open over here. Sport Check there has a GoPro section. And they have our Reds here. There's the mall entrance to Simon's. So if I didn't go on that little adventure outside, I think this is the way I would have came. Bath and Body Works seems to be kind of busy.
What are we looking at?
I do apologize for the randomness of this walk. Although if you saw a directory of Square One, I think you'd kind of understand why it's coming out that way. And I think this is where I went outside, just to the right here. Or maybe not. It's easy to see why people get lost in this mall. Can't really get a look at the map there, but let's go this way. And then I'll head downstairs and we'll wander around there a bit. Matt and Nat. And I think we're on top of the old food court. I think it's still the new food court. I remember there used to be a keg restaurant just down there. And where Sephora is used to be a Disney store. And where Brown Shoes is used to be a Sony store. And this is where they typically have Santa and a big tree. This mall has really changed. And I think going this way will take me back to where I parked. So I'll turn left just up here. I think the stores are supposed to be just at half capacity due to the restrictions. I did read on the way over here that our case count in the province is about 4 times what it was this time last year. But hospitalizations are way down, and our ICU numbers have decreased a little bit. So if you're freaking out as to why a big mall like this is open and relatively busy, I don't think there's too much to be concerned about. Here's where I got my first ever cell phone right here. There was a Fido store. And look at that, they still have International Clothers here. That's kind of the Walmart to end all Walmarts, at least as far as Canada's concerned. This is where you used to be able to go and get a suit for 20 bucks. Why rent a tux for grad when you could buy one for nothing? Speaking of which, I actually rented a tux from this mall for grad. It's So we've been wandering around this upper level here for 20 minutes. And I'm sure I've missed some large sections of it. Now I'm going to find some stairs and we'll head down. And we'll explore the first floor. There's a Dollarama over there. All right, so I have come back to where we just were. I was just about to go look at the map. And of course, they walk right up to it. So sorry for the minor backtracking here. I'm going to find an escalator and head down. It's worth noting just to the north of this mall is Highway 403. All right, let's head down. I think I actually know where we are. So this should be the food court just behind me. So I'll loop back around and come this way. There's an Urban Planet. Okay, I think I can loop around this area. There's GameStop. And I saw a sign for the food district at Square One on the highway, and I wondered what that was. And here it is. Oh, there's a Uniqlo right above here. Did I miss that section? I'm just going to take a quick peek in case I missed this part. Now there's H&M, if you're wondering where that was. A linen chest. And Uniqlo. All right, let's head down. I think that's actually where I went outside. Let's take a quick peek at the food district. Really just looks like a higher end food court. It reminds me of a place I went to in Dumbo in New York. They've got a Sweet Jesus here. It's a very overrated ice cream parlor and a La Carnita. I think they're actually owned by the same people. And an Uncle Tetsu Japanese cheesecake. Downtown Toronto's greatest Instagram hits. All the way out here in Mississauga, which I think is actually not a suburb of Toronto. I think I read once that more people now commute out of Mississauga than to Mississauga. Or sorry, the other way around. More people commute to Mississauga than leave Mississauga. So even though it's part of the Greater Toronto Area, and it's often part of the population when people talk about the Greater Toronto Area, it really is kind of its own thing now. Okay, let's finish this little loop on the ground floor here. That'll spit me out in the food court, I think. And I think way back when, there used to be a bulk barn right around the corner. I doubt that's still there. All right. Oh, there's Moxie's and Jollibee. That's where I went out. There's a Timmy's. I seem to have come to a bit of a dead end at this Sport Check. I probably meant to turn just over here. Hatendo, Hiroshima, Japan, since 1933. When I think of Hiroshima, I think of okonomiyaki. That and a very unfortunate incident that took place there once upon a time. Tonic Salon and Spa. So in the food court, I worked at a New York Fries, and on our right was a Yogan Fru's, and on the left was a KFC. I wonder if they're still there. There was a Charlie's Steakery. And one of my coworkers, his mom was the manager at Jimmy the Greek. And back in the day, we would kind of trade with the nearby fast food restaurants. Our fries were a hot item. So sometimes with KFC, they'd get a giant bucket of our fries in exchange for a bucket of chicken. That was when the quote-unquote cool managers were working and there was no owner around. So I am curious if any of these places are still there. There's a Colonel's. They were known for their free handouts. And that Aldo is still there. There used to be a Le Chateau beside it. I remember that.
Let's just get in
And
now.
this is new. This is Szechuan. Oh, Jimmy the Greek is right where it used to be. There used to be a Mr. Sub just here on the right. Bourbon Street Grill. There's a Taco Bell. You have to show your proof of vaccination to get in. Charlie's Philly Steaks. That used to be called Charlie's Steakery. They're still here. The Manchu Walk is still here. It's pretty awesome. And there's the New York Fries where I used to work, and the Orange Julius is still there, as is the KFC. Right on the corner here was a Yogan Fruits. And the hairdresser I used to go to was right here. There's a lady there named Teresa who would always cut my hair. Where that Burger King is used to be a keg restaurant. And maybe the Disney store and the Sony store were actually on this floor. I might be getting confused. It's a shopping mall. I can't go on Google Street View and look at what it used to be like. So if I go left here, that'll take me to Walmart. Straight is where I parked. I've got a big parking garage. I parked on the upper floor. There's all these people fighting for spots and waiting and jostling just to get a parking spot, and I just kind of went right up to the upper floor, and it was pretty much empty, as you saw. There's not too many vacant retail storefronts here. There's an Urban Outfitters. And I guess the Bay is controlling their entrances. So they've got this one closed off. There's nothing around the corner. Explore map. That's not a very good sign. Yeah. There's Auntie Anne's. That place is good. That's a staple of most shopping malls. And when I walked on this hallway in the upper floor, I mentioned that the first place I ever got a cell phone was here. But I was actually on the wrong floor, because here is Fido. And that was before they had merged with the evil Empire Rogers. They got I think it was a Nokia 3390 way back in the day there. And it looks like this entrance to Walmart has been closed. And I think I was also way off with that location of the bulk barn, as it still appears to be here. I was doing my best to try to remember it, but this is a huge, sprawling, slightly confusing mall. And on that note, I hope you had a good Christmas. You'll be watching this after Christmas, probably on the 26th or 27th. I'm gonna end the mall, or end the video here, end the mall here. Well, that's true. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. There will also be a link to my merchandise and PayPal. All right. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will catch you on the next one.